Boys, is the greatest football team to have ever existed? Can we say Manchester City is the greatest footballing season of all time? They did the treble. They did the treble. So that's the question we're going to have to answer tonight. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you're listening to or listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League and other things, I guess, because we're not talking about the Premier League because that's been over. From three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea, and that down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Boys, hello. Well, Brad, welcome back. Hello.
Thank you. Good to be back. I don't know if City is the greatest team ever, but Jack Grealish might be the greatest drunkard ever.
Yo, he is sloshing his way all over the world. So is he back from Istanbul yet? Did he make it back? I'm not sure.
Boys, listen. I know I tend to enjoy my natty lights. I'm sure Pep Guardiola had them on a strict diet after the FA. After the EPL, and telling them we are not done.
Yeah.
You guys will have one night of fun, and you will be right back at training tomorrow at 8 a.m. So choose your fun wisely tonight. But after Istanbul, let him run wild. And Jack Grealish has had it, boy. He is having some fun, isn't he?
It's funny because apparently he has to report to the England camp like today or tomorrow. Like he apparently they had like 2 or 3 days in between reporting, and this man has just been drunk for the last 84 hours.
Not slept. Speaking of which, Hangover 4 was just announced. It's Calvin Phillips, Phil Foden, and John Stones trying to get Jack Grealish to report to England duty.
Oh, that's good. All right. Before we break down the Champions League, which we've already started, hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. If on the podcast site, follow 5-star if your platform so allows. Do all those things. Share this video, please. It would really help us out. So tonight we're going to talk about the Champions League. We've got a comment from Jimmy that we want to get into, and then a couple news points. Hopefully we don't detain you all for too long. And, if we leave a little time at the end for you, maybe you could drop a comment below and we could talk about it next week. But Jimmy's comment from last week is in response to the Anthony Taylor controversy of the Europa League final between Roma and Sevilla about the handball that he didn't call. He said, Jimmy says, honestly, I don't think it was a penalty, the handball. It seemed like a natural position to me, and I don't remember seeing any movement to make himself bigger to block the ball. I actually thought the criticism of Taylor was harsh. So that opinion is not shared by Italy. Italy is, I think, still mad at Anthony Taylor. And Jose Mourinho probably still thinks that Anthony Taylor's a cheat. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any. I think we said our piece last week. I thought it was a handball. I think it looks pretty bad. I think it should have been a handball, but I can understand the argument that it shouldn't be as well.
Anthony Taylor's the worst, so whatever he decided is wrong.
I was trying to clear the floor for Brad.
Yeah,
I was going to let him have that moment,
I had that slider in there, and I just hung it up there, and I was waiting for Brad to swing.
I had to wait for the sweet spot.
He took a second to come through on that, so
had to let it settle.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Really appreciate it. Jimmy, we should get you on the podcast. We could talk about Liverpool. Maybe here in a couple weeks. We'll you call our people. We'll call your people. We'll figure something out. But Champions League, yeah. So Istanbul last Saturday. Manchester City and Inter Milan. City's second final in 3 years. Inter's first final in 10 years, something like that. Maybe is it 10 years or 13 years? 13 years.
It was 2010. It was 2010.
Yeah, so 13 years. 13 years. Yeah, so 13 years. Manchester City win the game 1-0. They have a 68th minute winner from Rodri. So congratulations to Manchester City. That does complete the treble for them. They are league champions. They win the domestic cup and the European Cup. Honestly, I mean, it's it's a feat. The first English male team to do that since 99. Brad's going to pop off with, well, Chelsea women did it last year and they did a quadruple or something like that, right?
No, I wasn't. But we have. Like, we've won 4 years in a row, I think, both cups. We've done like a double at least the past 2 years. But besides that, I was actually going to say shout out to Southampton for this not being a quadruple.
Yeah, true.
Southampton took them out in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, United won the Carabao Cup. I forgot about that. United won the
Carabao Cup against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that this is the result I was rooting for. And here's the reason why. Pep has won his treble now.
Yeah.
That is all there is. There's all there is to accomplish, except next year, Tottenham can help him leave the EPL. Because he said in an interview, if he were to win the treble, what would left to be accomplished? And his answer was, beat Tottenham away.
Score a goal.
This is in a real interview. This is not a made-up chat GPT. This is not a made-up AI interview. This is a real interview. Yeah. Pep Guardiola, with his sheepish little smirk, too, said, beat Tottenham away.
Yeah.
He's been in the league for 5 years. He's never beaten us at Tottenham. So Tottenham can do everybody a solid next year. Let him win at Tottenham. And then he could just go on his merry way and leave us alone. Stop winning.
Isn't that what the rumor is? That apparently his contract's up in 2 years, and like the rumor is that it sounds like he might be done at that point?
Yeah, he just want to resign.
I mean, we can only hope, right? We can only hope.
Yeah, we just need to let it, in the next 2 years, we need to let him win. Next year would be great if we're in a rebuild year. Just let him win. Just let him win away.
Well, hold on. Get it. What if Harry Kane scores against you at home for Pep?
They don't need Harry Kane.
I mean, but what if they get him? Doesn't mean they won't sign him.
You know what? It doesn't matter. You're absolutely right. That wouldn't feel great.
So I said that in jest about City being the best English team ever, because obviously we will all agree that the Invincibles 03 is the best English team to ever exist. Undefeated in the league, a feat that will never be matched. So obviously Arsenal, best team of all time, clearly far and away. But is this a City team? Is this treble more impressive than the 99 United? Now, we asked this question. None of us watched the United 99 team. None of us. We will concede that. We didn't watch it, but I've been watching football for close to 20 years now.
Yeah.
I think Brad's a little less than that. Sean's maybe in that same ballpark, but we've all been kind of watching football for a fairly long time. I would, and I think this is true along most sports, but I would easily say that, this Manchester City team would beat the crap out of the 99 United team. If they played head to head, it would not be close. It would not be close. I think that the footballing philosophies of the modern game are significantly more advanced and more effective than what Fergie was doing in 99. Like Fergie was the way he revolutionized the game was using subs and squad rotation. Like that was his revolutionary addition to football, was that he would play a different striker on a midweek game than on the weekend. Like, and everyone's like, oh, that's wild, right? Like we've progressed a little bit beyond that at this point. And also somehow sacrificing babies to get 92nd minute winners and things like that. But Fergie time.
Fergie time was big.
Well, I'm going to go a little contrarian on this. But the Liverpool team that finished second, that only lost 2 games, so almost invincibles, that their only 2 games they lost to was City, was the best team I've ever seen in my life. That Liverpool team just had an Achilles heel, and it bit them in the butt.
Yeah,
and your only 2 losses of the year are to the same team, and you happen to lose the title to them. And what was it, 99 to 98 or something? It was something ridiculous like
insane.
that.
Yeah, something absolutely insane.
That was that Liverpool team was the best visually and the best competitively, and they had 2 bad games against the only team that could score more points than them. and third place was not even close.
No, that season was insane.
That Liverpool team was the best team I've ever seen.
You're both wrong, but it's okay.
Okay.
Chelsea 04-05 when they only conceded 15 goals.
Brad never watched a single game that season. Brad has never seen that team play football. He is just regurgitating. I mean, your response should be, "I never watched The Invincible." That should be your response.
Who was your 8 on that team?
Huh?
Who was your 8 on that team?
Number 8.
Who's number 8?
Well, I don't know who was your number 8 by position, not by number.
Ruben Bollock.
Okay. All right. You know what? I tried to call him out and it didn't work. It would have been Michael Bollock.
I think. Now you got me actually curious. I think so. I think I'm like 95. Like I'm 95% sure I'm correct on that.
I'm pretty sure you signed him mid-season.
I don't think it was Michael Bollock. I thought Michael Bollock came after that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God, I was stupid. It's still Frankie. I didn't think it was Frankie.
What position?
For whatever reason. By position and by number, Frank Lampard.
Oh yeah, well that's why I said not by number, because Lampard was the 8 for.
I mean, this is a pretty solid team here, though. Like Robin was on the team, Drogba was on the team, Damien Duff was on that team.
Damien Duff. He's clouting Damien Duff.
That's funny.
Let's just get on tangents.
Best.
Oh, you had Carlo Codicini? Man,
yeah.
what a squad.
Shane
what a
Long.
Squad. But so congratulations, I think, are unfortunately due for City. Yes. Commiserations to Inter, I guess. I don't know.
I will say immediately after that game, I went to meet up with a couple of friends, and one's a Liverpool fan and one's a City fan, and I just gave the City fan a hug. I was like, you deserved it. Like I got nothing at this point. I got no horses in the race. You deserved it. Happy for you.
At
least it's a European.
Can City go again? Will they go again? I mean,
no.
Why not?
What?
I mean, like, can they go back to back?
And treble back to back?
No, not treble back to back, but Champions League back to back. Why not?
I don't see why they're not the favorites. Do they make it all the way through? I don't know. It's the Champions League.
It's the
That's
Champions
the best part of
League.
the Champions League. They're 100% the favorites next year, though.
I think so too. I think walking in, they're the favorites.
Holland to win. You bought Holland to win the Champions League, and he won. I mean, so, you did it.
They're probably going to lose Bernardo Silva. They're probably going to lose Gundogan.
Maybe.
But
who knows?
I mean, like, if there's any
Alvarez might be gone too because he wants minutes.
If there's any team that's just going to like re-up, right? It's Manchester City. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know if Calvin Phillips is that dude, but like,
he's there.
What stops City from just rocking up and going next, right? Like,
next man up.
I think that I agree with you, Brad. I think they have to be the favorites. It's like them in Madrid, and Madrid are favorites just because they're Real Madrid.
It's like Alabama football, where they just graduate they get like 10 players drafted in the first 2 rounds, and then they just, next sophomore up.
But the pipeline's so strong.
The pipeline's so strong that they're just ready. Hey, next one.
Look, if Bayern finds a 9, you got to put Tuchel up there. Bayern needs a 9.
Bayern, I don't feel like have been competitive in Europe for a couple years now. I
think they were messing around with coaches that they probably shouldn't have been.
Germany has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna count Munich out because, I mean, I've seen this script before. Arsenal are going to finish second in their group, and they're going to draw Bayern Munich in the round of 16. I've seen this script before. I already know what's going to happen. I am mentally prepared for early March.
Love it.
You know what's funny is that's our script for Dortmund. We always pull Dortmund, and I'm like, God dog it.
We're getting the gang back together. Let's just run it back. But okay, I think that you have to look at City and say that they're legitimate contenders to go back to back. But big ups to City, I guess. Makes me feel a little bit better as an Arsenal fan that we lost the title to a treble winning team.
Bro,
so
this is your fault that they won the treble.
Yeah. True.
This is 100% Arsenal's fault. Like, Arsenal could have prevented this.
We could
have. Because they just won the FA Cup and the Champions League, and like, oh cool, they're a cup squad. But no, No, you had to bottle this
Well,
entire season.
Do you want to talk about a cup squad?
I mean, that's Chelsea. That's what Chelsea's been.
I was going to say Manchester United, who won the Carabao Cup. Oh, there have been some reports as of recording on Tuesday, June 13th, at the time that we are recording this. There have been some Twitter reports that Manchester United has been sold to a Qatari sheik. The guy who has been making progressively more and more bids to buy Manchester United outright. These are not confirmed. Nothing has been announced at the time of recording. We may wake up in the morning and there's a post from Manchester United. Maybe the Glazers will have announced that they're selling the shares. Who knows? But if this sale goes through, we'll have one of the most financially lucrative footballing institutions who we talk about the fact that Manchester United just print money. So one of the most financially strong footballing institutions being bought by an unlimited money situation.
And would be debt free again.
They're just gonna that's
yeah. Hey, they're overpaying for Mason Mount. Let's go. If Mason Mount's to be sold. I do not want Mason Mount to be sold. I want him to sign the thing. If he's not going to sign the thing, then pay us the money.
Yeah. That presents a less than enjoyable idea. That we already have a couple teams that are unlimited money, but Manchester United getting into that realm and having state backed money that just. Come on
top of their already unlimited money.
Right. Manchester United were already keeping up with the Cities and the Chelseas when Chelsea and City's money was fake, United's was real, right? United is old money, and the fact that they're going to be old money mixed with new money seems really nasty.
Yeah, that's a deadly combination because they can spend whatever they want to because they have the revenue to justify. It's Piff waiting on Newcastle's revenue to catch up to what they want to spend. There's not that gap.
Yeah, let's
United in this transfer window will be a monster if this is true.
So let's take this to the next logical step. So let's assume that this sale has gone through, and then I want you to envision a season so Manchester United the Qatari guy can spend money on infrastructure almost freely, right? So they could re-up Old Trafford, make Old Trafford nice again. So if you make the stadium one of the best in the countries again, you upgrade the training ground, make the training ground the best in the country again, and then once Pep leaves City, why would if you're gonna get courted by both the Manchester teams, and both the Manchester teams want to sign a player, why would you choose City over United if Pep's not there? Right. So assume all things are equal, training grounds are equal, stadium is equal. You would always choose United over City just because of the history of United, right?
So maybe, and I say maybe because sure history, but when you're talking to 20 to 25-year-old kids, there's a little bit of United history in there.
Hold on, but time. Who? I mean, who is that dude who's played for City in the last 20 years that you look at and that guy? That's the guy I watched growing up.
Aguero.
Yeah.
But I feel like Ronaldo.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne is not flashy enough. He's not that dude. I don't think. I mean, unless you're Belgian.
Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero are two of the most technical players of all time.
I agree with you.
Ronaldo is sheer strength and will and quickness.
But what I'm talking about, beyond his footballing ability, he has a huge social media presence, and kids are still pretending to be Ronaldo on football pitches when they score a goal, right? They're still swinging when they score a goal. So there's not that you know what I'm talking about. They're different levels.
United just outcast him.
They did, but you can, if you get 5 to 10 years removed from that, and maybe you get 5 to 10 years removed from where we are right now. In 2030, maybe the kids haven't been growing up watching Ronaldo anymore. Maybe that's not a thing anymore.
It's Mbappe. It's Neymar.
Maybe it's Mbappe. Maybe it's Holland. Maybe it's Holland.
Maybe it's
I don't
Holland.
know.
Foden.
Phil
In
Foden. If any kid is growing up in England right now and they're like, man, which English winger am I going to model my game off? I can tell you it's not Foden. It's gonna be Saka. 100% it's gonna be Saka. Foden looks like a dweeb. Look at the haircut, man. Come on now.
But let's think about it though. But like, who's been winning things recently?
We had this argument with Olivier Giroud, dude. I'm telling you.
But I'm telling you, like, look,
kids growing up now in England want to be Harry Kane. You don't scream Saka on the. Well, maybe nowadays.
I don't think you yell Foden unless you're from Manchester.
You're never yelling Foden.
You're never yelling Foden
because he's the young one. He's the one close to him. But like Harry Kane, you want to score the Harry Kane goal.
I disagree.
I also think Kane is not that guy. But
as a club, like who's been winning the most
recently?
Yeah,
I mean the recent history of City is immense. So
like, and let's extrapolate that continues, right? Like,
okay, but
City's building a history.
Yeah, but I think a lot of us. Do you think that a different manager could do the job that Pep has done at City over the last 5 years?
Yes,
as good. Okay, so you think there's another manager out there who could have done as good a job as Pep?
So that's look, because there's a conversation of there's been some like Twitter had a conversation about this. If you took Pep and put him in Jose situations, is Pep as successful as Jose? No. If you put Jose in Pep's situation, is he as successful? Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
So like, are there managers that could do that? Yes. You give Conte the type of financial backing that Pep has had at City. Yes.
I might push back on that a little bit because let's just assume that Pep let's just swap positions. I don't think Jose is signing the same players that Pep is signing, and I also don't think that Jose is as good of a manager as Pep is.
In terms of the financial resources available, you're correct. Jose's not signing maybe as technical as players as Pep does. But if you put Pep at Roma, are they Conference League champs? Are they Europa League champs?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like Pep requires a certain caliber of player to fit his system. I get that.
Correct.
And I also think that Jose doesn't necessarily demand that out of the requirement on his players. But they have different requirements. A better way of saying that, they have different. They value different things.
But if you gave somebody that same financial backing, like a Jose, like a Conte,
maybe.
Yes, all the managers that we would put on the level of Pep. Yes.
I don't know.
Klopp. Give Klopp the financial backing of Pep Guardiola and watch.
I think Klopp is the best argument. I think that Klopp.
But Jose did it at Real when he had unlimited funds. So like Jose is the closest thing to it. Is my argument. In terms of coaching ability right now, I would say Klopp. I agree with you. But in terms of like historically, it's Jose.
Yeah.
He's done it.
But his tenure at Madrid at the end got pretty toxic is what I would point out. Like he did force Casillas out of the club essentially. There was other turmoil going on. So things get toxic with Mourinho after a while.
But how often does Pep refresh his squad? Pep refreshes his squad pretty frequently.
That's fair, but I also think that I think that he's probably a better manager and like motivator than, I don't know.
I mean, look, Cancelo was like, I think we would all like, Cancelo was in the argument for like best left back, best right back last year. Not last year, the year before. Sorry, the year before. And Pep sent his ass up to Bayern.
Well, Pep also is like, he's very cutthroat in the sense that it's like, if you even intimate in the slightest bit that you want to leave, okay, leave, fine, I don't care. That's his mantra. He's like, I'm never going to stop a player who wants to leave, because he just wants people to be fully committed to what he's trying to produce
Right,
at all
which
times.
I think Jose is similar. I don't think Jose has that same. Okay, cool, leave.
Okay.
I think he does, but I think it's more toxic. I
No,
don't disagree with you, but
it's two different things. What you guys are talking about, because Pep is
Yeah.
if you don't believe exactly what I believe, you can take your ass and leave.
Yeah.
That's Pep, or that's Jose.
that's
Pep
Pep
is
too.
Pep is Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. He's like, I'm not going to hold you back from leaving. You want to go to the NBA? Go to the NBA. Go. You know what? If you think you got greener pastures, go right ahead.
Yeah.
I'll recruit a different player that's just better than you. Like, go ahead and transfer. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't want to be here at Duke, then don't be here at Duke. Either way, I'm going to have better players coming behind you.
Yeah.
So
my initial question before we started comparing managers was, do you think that people would choose to go to City over United? And Brad, you think that recency is still going to play a big part in that?
Correct.
That's fair.
Do I think that somebody would pick United over City? Probably. Do I think it's a conversation? Do I think it's like a pause? Do I think it's like
so right
60
now
40, 70 60 40 as opposed to like 80 20, 70 30? Like I think it's a lot closer to 50-50.
I think right now it's people want to go to City because the facilities are going to be better, you're going to get paid better, and you've got a better manager, right? Like that's just a flat out. Like so, but if you even out the things that can be even, like the training facilities, the stadiums, you even all that out, and you just have to pick between United and City. I think that people who are English are going to choose United over City. Yes. Unless they grew up being City fans, and then
which they might now.
Maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
Sorry, not to derail you, but yeah, if everything is even besides the brand, I think now you would say United, but I don't know if that's going to be true in 3 to 5 years.
Fair enough.
Okay. I don't even know if that's true now. Like it's close.
So another we have a couple major news stories also related to, they're both centered, I guess, out of Paris in regards to players who have played for or are currently contracted at PSG. First big one, if you haven't heard about this, and I think that you don't exist in the world, but Lionel Messi has intimated that he will sign for Inter Miami in MLS. I don't think he's technically signed his contract yet, but that is confirmed. Messi is coming to MLS. Messi is coming to Inter
Miami.
Inter Miami. Yes. And if you're wondering, if you're new to MLS, there is no AC Miami, so there is no Inter AC rivalry in MLS. But
maybe Orlando. Orlando's probably your closest. I don't know who Miami's rivals are. They're a new club.
Yeah,
and they like pink. I don't know. Pink is bright. It's Miami.
So
that answers the question that people had.
If you're in America, I would say try and find a ticket, but I'm pretty sure they're all sold out right now. So maybe next year.
Maybe.
But yeah, so Messi's coming to MLS, and then Kylian Mbappe. There's been a story that's come out with Kylian Mbappe where he has told PSG that he will not be signing an agreement to extend his contract by 1 year further, which would extend it until 2025. So as we speak, Kylian Mbappe has 12 months left on his contract at PSG, and apparently this has just leaked to the news that Mbappe has said this to PSG recently.
He sent a letter.
Yeah, he sent a letter, but
apparently he's not going to pick up the option.
Yeah, and so now PSG are like, well, either you pick up the option, you sign a new contract, or we're going to sell you this summer. Apparently PSG is really adamant about the fact that they will not lose Kylian Mbappe on a free next year. And on top of that, they also don't want to sell him to Real Madrid, who is Kylian Mbappe's biggest suitor, or was his biggest suitor last year before he re-signed with PSG.
Which I think that's PSG stance is correct. But I think this might be a ploy that Mbappe was like, hey, I'm not re-signing. Like the way everybody treated Messi, because apparently he's pissed about the way Messi was treated, like leaving PSG. But is this Mbappe's way of getting PSG the maximum amount of money for him?
I don't think so.
Because Because well, no, he
No,
didn't need to. Well, no, he didn't
it
need to
deflates his
announce
value.
this. August 1,
He
it
didn't
became
announce it though.
official.
But
Yes,
he didn't.
he sent a letter to PSG, and then PSG was like, "Well, maybe we'll use this to get some money."
It would get less value.
Yeah, you would depreciate your asset
Because you know he's leaving anyway. So if I don't offer, I would offer 120, but I might offer 100 because he's leaving in 12 months anyway. So I might get him for free.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was the rumor in the story is that Mbappe was trying to do this so PSG could get.
If Mbappe really wanted to leave and he really wanted to get PSG the money, then you would announce to the world that Mbappe is leaving, but you would re-up that, you know what I mean? Like you would re-up, but then I think that Mbappe is like, look, PSG is kind of toxic right now. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Like we should be dominating France. We should be dominating the Champions League, and we're not. Like, what's going on? We have unlimited money. Why aren't we doing these things? And I think he also is looking at the fact that, I mean, he can make a boatload of money. He can make a boatload of money if he gets to just sign a contract for free next January with whoever he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do the Holland money because we are kidding ourselves if we think the Holland transfer was 60 million.
Yeah,
was his release clause.
I mean,
it wasn't.
That's what Dortmund got, but that wasn't
right.
Everything that was paid out.
Right.
And so I think Mbappe is looking at what Messi got when he signed for PSG. Like he's looking at like when Messi signed last summer or 2 summers ago for PSG, Messi got huge money to come to PSG. And maybe PSG was the only team in the world that could offer that kind of package. But
also Mbappe got big bucks too, though, last year. Like, it's a 2+1 deal. Yeah, it was a 3-year deal, so it was a 2+1 deal. And he got big bucks last year. Like he was the highest paid player. So like there is lots of like.
Who do we think is a like a legitimate destination for him? Like,
are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? We just had this conversation. United.
Yeah. In England, especially if this Qatari sale goes through, I think that's a I think that's a legitimate thing.
United, Bayern.
Bayern's not going to pay what unless PSG is giving Bayern a sweetheart deal to make sure he doesn't go to Madrid. Then
right. I mean, Bayern was willing to pay 100 for Rice.
There could be
that's happening. But
there could be some pettiness there. Rice. Yeah, I mean, if there could be some pettiness there, so I could see it. Madrid, you can't take Madrid off the table, but Madrid is going to cost him like 200
minimum. Apparently Chelsea's not doing crazy things, but like we can't ever like not say Todd Bowley won't be like, fuck it, do it.
Man, we almost did it.
I know. I'm sorry. I ruined it.
We
were close.
We were close.
We were so close. I had to come back and drop it in there. But I mean, City, why not?
They just signed Holland. They're not doing that. I don't think City's paying the money. I really think that the most likely destinations, United or nowhere. So I guess we'll see. That's something to keep our eye out over the course of the summer, whether or not that relationship will be repaired in Paris, or if Kylian Mbappe is going to rip the number 14 shirt off Eddie Nketiah's back and sign for Arsenal. But that's all we got for you guys tonight. Make sure you hit it with a subscribe, follow if you're on the podcast site. Drop a comment down below about how awesome and how much you would enjoy seeing Kylian Mbappe play for Arsenal next year. And check back next week. I think we have to look at the sheets of integrity next week. And we have to figure out which one of us has the most integrity. So that's going to be that you won't want to miss that. You definitely want to miss that. Don't want to miss that. Hit us up on Twitter. That guy's at KSBradG. Whiteheart_Sean is down below. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are at redcard_radio. And we will chat with you guys soon. Have a good one. Take care.